We start off with obviously the number one most surprising thing in all sports. And no, I'm not talking about T Swift getting with your boy Travis Kelce. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football back at it again. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on everything college football, pro football, Madden, EA college football, NFL draft, anything related to American football, hit the red subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Also hit the like button too. And follow on Twitter/X. That fame is growing. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, we are ho-humming along with college football season. We just got done with week 4. This is one of the best starts to college football in a while. There's potentially 8, 9 teams that have a realistic shot at winning the national championship this year. It feels a lot more wide open. A couple years before, 2, 3 teams, maybe 4. This year, we got multiple teams. There's going to be a lot of teams that are left out of the CFP who potentially could have won it if they were included in. Again, it's a wild season. Every game matters. But what I want to talk about right now is I feel like there has been a lot of surprises so far this season. Some good, some bad. We start off with obviously the number one most surprising thing in all sports. And no, I'm not talking about T Swift getting with your boy Travis Kelce. I'm talking about, of course, Coach Prime in Colorado. Now, this was shocking because we didn't know what the score was going to be like this. But you have to remember here, Colorado last year, they're 3-1 now. They were 1-11 last year. They're one win at home after a bye to a 4-8 team that took them overtime to win the game. This year, they're going to get 4, 5, potentially 6, make a bowl game, something like that. That's ridiculous when you put it in context. But I think what I would rather do is talk about some other teams because they are not the only surprising ones so far this season. What we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about the 5 most surprising teams I have so far in college football this season. The very short or very early part of the season, obviously we have more of the season to come, but so far these teams have drastically overperformed compared to what I thought they were going to do. Again, we've got 5, couple bad, couple good. We'll get into those. These won't be in any particular order. We're going to start off with number 5, one team that does not get any pub that probably deserves it, your Texas State Bobcats. Go over here to see the Texas State Bobcats. They are second in the Sun Belt West. Now, for them, obviously, you win at Baylor. That is an absolute shocking one, considering the fact of what this team has done. Win at Baylor. You got at UT San Antonio. You lost that game, but then win against Jackson State, put up 77 points. They were down 17-0 to Nevada, and then they went on a 35-7 run to win that game. Now, I know you're saying, okay, listen, this is great that they're 3-1. There's plenty of teams that are Sun Belt 3-1, MAC 3-1, Mountain West 3-1, whatever. It's not a big deal there. It is considering the fact of what this team has done before. So this is only a 12-year-old program, and you can see the fact that, right, they had 4 seasons with Jake Spavital, and ultimately they went out there and they fired Jake Spavital. They wanted to get a new head coach in there because if you look at their history so far, okay, Dennis Francione, Everett Weathers, Chris Wood's first game, Jake Spavital, they've gone 4-8, 6-6, 7-5. Didn't go to a bowl game, and then 3-9, 2-10, 2-10, 3-9, 3-9, 2-10, 4-8, 4-8. And 3-1. See, they almost have as many wins last season as they had for the first 4 games of the season. So 1/3 of the way through, and they're almost matching the win total from last season. I'm telling you, it is surprising. G.J. Kinney, former quarterback from your boys over there at Tulsa, love what he's done. He is coaching them right now, 3-1. They've got some opportunities to win some games down the stretch here. Again, at Southern Miss will be tough. At Louisiana will be tough. UL Monroe, Troy, Georgia Southern, Coastal Carolina looks like they're off to a rough start here. South Alabama, they look like they're a pretty decent team in the Arkansas State. Again, they only need 3 more wins to be bowl eligible. And remember, they were 7-5 before. I think they should be able to make it this year. But Texas State so far outperforming expectations for sure. And another one, we're going to stay in the state of Texas for another big surprise I have so far from this year. And this is one of the negative slant here. Again, my boss is an alum of Texas Tech, and he just down bad so far. I love my boy, but it's been rough so far. So they go play at Wyoming, a rare Big 12 at Mountain West interconference matchup, lose in double overtime at Wyoming. They play Oregon the next week, lose 38-30. And then they have the big win against Tarleton State, and then they lost to West Virginia. The one against Oregon was so crazy because Oregon, one of the best teams in the country right now, they were within 1 drive of taking that lead, and here's how it turned out. So they lost 38-30, but with 1 minute left in the game. They had the ball down 1, driving for the game-winning score. They had an opportunity to do that, but they couldn't pull it through. They had the interception return for a touchdown with 35 seconds left. Again, Texas Tech, this team is 1-3. However, they were 1 drive away from taking the lead on one of the top teams in the country. Ultimately didn't go their way. Go to West Virginia after a huge letdown. Lost that game too. Texas Tech, a lot of people said they were preseason Big 12 champs, beating Texas in the very last game. Remember, they played Texas that last game of the season. But man, just not off to the start that they wanted to. National championship is out of the realm of possibilities. Still have an opportunity here. They are 0-1 in Big 12 play, but not the start that the Red Raiders wanted to this season. And we're drawing it up from here. We're going back to our West Virginia Mountaineers. And you know, my boys out there, okay? Mountaineer Paul, we got Kuz's Corner. I love my boys out there in West Virginia. And surprisingly, remember they played at Penn State, one of the top teams in the country, lost that game. Okay, all credit where credit is due. Win against Duquesne, probably should win there. Win the Backyard Brawl, okay. Win Texas Tech, okay. Now, remember, it's going to get a little tougher here at TCU. Houston, they should be able to handle a matchup. It is on a short week there, although they do have after a bye. And then Oklahoma State, we'll see what happens with their offense. UCF, BYU, OU, Cincinnati, and then at Baylor. They should get to 6, 7, maybe 8 wins, something like that. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know that West Virginia is not really used to this because a lot of people actually wanted them to be bad because then they could get rid of Neil Brown. It's kind of weird. This is from Blue and Gold Nation right here, and it says that the amount of people cheering for West Virginia to suck so that Neil can be fired is pitiful. Neil Brown, the head coach. I want what's best for West Virginia, and if Neil Brown is somehow able to turn the ship around, he's the guy. Cheering for a man to lose his job is that, well, especially cheering against, I know what you're saying here, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll have a little bit of pain because we won't make a bowl game, he'll get fired, and then we'll be better. But it's like, yo, dude, you're 3-1, man. You guys could go, 6-6, 7-5, 8-4, something like that. Let them do his thing. He's doing well so far. Again, that's where we're at. West Virginia doesn't even know what's going on. They're like, should we not be cheering? Should we? I don't even know. But they are one of the bigger surprises so far to this season. And then another team in here too, a big surprise is the Baylor Bears. And I know that I mostly had the Big 12 actions for the most Texas and some stuff like that. But for the most part, this one is pretty shocking. Considering the fact that lost to Texas State, have them in there. The loss to Utah, they had the lead in the fourth quarter. All they had to do was not throw a pick. Boom, throw a pick, drive down, score a touchdown, had that game. They beat LIU, good for you, and then lost to Texas. But again, they've got, at Cincinnati, at UCF, at TCU, at Kansas State, home against West Virginia, home against Iowa State, home against, Texas Tech and Houston. I don't know how many wins they have down the stretch there. It's going to be tough for them. But man, Dave Aranda, he usually runs a pretty tight ship. This year, they just don't seem to have it. They're one of the bigger surprises so far in the 2023 season. Number 1, this is a weird one here, the Missouri Tigers. SEC East, one of the undefeated teams in the SEC East right now. Doing pretty good. Now, I know what you're saying. South Dakota, okay. Middle Tennessee State, okay. Kansas State, reigning Big 12 champ. Okay. You see what happened there. Win at home. Then you got win against Memphis in the RCA. It was formerly not the RCA Dome, but the Dome in St. Louis. I forgot what the hell it's called. But anyways, they come out there and they do really well with that. You see their quarterback Cook, 341 passing. This is shocking, man. Now, looking at the rest of the schedule here, they're 4-0. Probably going to get to 5-0 playing at Vanderbilt, but then home against LSU. Then you got at Georgia. Then you got home against Tennessee. You got home against Florida. You've got at Arkansas. There's some tough matchups coming up. Kentucky's not an easy out either. I don't know what's going to happen with these guys, but I do know that so far, Missouri 4-0, probably going to get to 5-0. Not a lot of people probably had that coming into this season. Like you said, Kansas State, Memphis is one of the top G5 programs. So far, undefeated. Those are my 5 teams that I am just shocked to see what they're doing so far. So it's pretty easy to see that the biggest shock in college football right now is Colorado's turnaround from 1-11 to 3-1 so far in their first 4 games. However, West Virginia 3-1, Missouri 4-0, Texas State, typically a terrible team, they're 3-1. There's a lot of big turnarounds happening in college football right now. A couple bad ones, Texas Tech not doing what they want to do, Baylor not doing what they want to do, and so on. But you see the fact that all of those teams not doing what they were supposed to be doing or doing what they want to be doing. Either way, college football so far off to a great start. Those teams supposed to be here, went here, supposed to be here, went here. Either way, lots of things that are shocking so far in the season. All right, guys, get in the comments right now. Let me know what you guys think is the most shocking turnaround in college football. Again, keep Colorado out of it. They're kind of in their own separate universe because of all of the glitz and glamour. What teams are you surprised to be overperforming, underperforming, so on? I know my Boise State Broncos are 2-2. They played Washington. Okay, that's one of the best teams in the country, and UCF lost on again last-second field goal. So give my guys a second credit here. But again, what teams are you like, wow, I can't believe they're doing that, or whoa, they're doing that this season? You guys let me know. But that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys later. I am out.